Hi.
Hello. Well, I'll lead us off. Coach, just, I guess, thoughts coming off that big Florida sweep, I guess, and then taking care of business in the trap game. I guess you could kind of call it against UCA. How was that, having that kind of setup against a tough UCA team that's always played y'all tough leading into another SEC series?
Well, I think that I'll start with Florida. That's a long question, Porter. The weekend, no, I'm just kidding. No, the weekend was really, it was a great weekend. We had three very different games. Our team was just so businesslike, and they have been all year. And so they just took care of business and found a way to get it done each day. And that's really what they've been like all year. It's just staying the course. Sunday we didn't do too much offensively, and Shanice pitched great. Our defense played really well, and then we found a way to scrape together 2 runs. Obviously, Gibb with the bomb, but every game's looked a little different, and it's been somebody different that steps up each game, really. And then you go to Tuesday, and as coaches, how tough UCA is because we look at it a lot differently than the team does, and they always play us really tough. We always have some really big battles, and quite honestly, I thought they had us on Tuesday. We just didn't, the balls weren't falling. We had a mixture of the hits not falling and some just not so great at bats, and they got some breaks there, and it was one of those nights. It just didn't feel like our night. On our end, and I'm watching the team going, apparently they don't care. They're just like doing their thing in the 5th inning. And I'm like, and then Marlene steps up. We put Marlene in and she hits the 2-run bomb. And that's where it's like, it's someone different every night. And our hits couldn't fall. And Marlene, honestly, in her first at bat, looked dialed, flew out to left. And then her second at bat, she just, she didn't stretch her zone. We were stretching our zone all night offensively. And she just stayed really within herself and put a really good swing on a full count pitch. And that was the difference maker. But I honestly thought they had us until that swing. So, but it was good because we got to learn a lesson that night. And it's a big one to learn going into the end of our schedule here. And so hopefully we take that into the weekend.
And just from the mental aspect, you come into, what we talked about, with that chip on your shoulder and just overlooking the team, you go in and sweep Florida, you come off that. Now you have that game against UCA that played you tough. You got to overcome that. And now you got to get right back. So how much growth do you think that's really made this team this late into the season?
Well, I think we've just learned so many lessons along the way. And I think that this team finds ways to win. And so great teams have to find ways to win when they're not great. And so, yeah, I think that's going to something like the last 4 games, all 4 looked really, really different, and they found a way to win. And we're going to need that this weekend. There's everybody in this conference is so tough. Everybody we play is so tough. And so hopefully they just, approach it like they have for most of the year. I didn't think we did as good a job Tuesday, but just approach the game as they have all year and just trying to win the moment and win the game we're in and take care of business.
Do you think, this is my last question, do you think what A&M did to Alabama kind of taught or kind of made y'all look, or the team look like, hey, this is the SEC and anything can happen, with a team like A&M taking the series against one of the top teams in the SEC?
Yeah, I know that. I hope it does for the team. I know it does. We have just so much respect for every opponent that we have. And, when you're in conference, it doesn't matter if you're first or last or, the game doesn't know. And like right now, A&M's playing as good as they have all year. And they, and South Carolina, they took one from Florida. They get out hot. And so, it just, anybody can beat anybody any day. And so I know we have a ton of respect for that as a staff. And I believe our players do too.
That's all I got for now. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Coach, how special is it to see Shanice take control of that circle when she steps in? She's pitched in over 40 innings of work this season, only 2 earned runs all year. How special is it to see her working that circle?
Yeah, I mean, she has just been tremendous for us. And I didn't get to watch her interview. I hope she got to show you guys her personality and her huge, beautiful smile that you don't ever get to see when she's competing on the field. But yeah, I mean, she just grinds, and she's a worker, and she's always looking for ways to get better. And you know, as a coach, that's what you want out of your players. And then just getting out there and trusting your stuff, trusting your team, and just competing your butt off. And that's what Shanice has done for us. So it's really exciting to see. I mean, we know that she's a special one. So it's really, really cool to see what she's doing and for us right now.
And you have your last home series before the SEC tournament kicks off. Do you think it'll be a very emotional day with senior day coming up this weekend at Bogle Park?
Well, yeah, it always is. And then you look at the senior class, and how could it not be? You know, I do think that, you know, kind of a blessing in disguise is that we have to do it after the game, just with the early time and the amount that we have to recognize. So I honestly am kind of like, oh, I think that might, you know, be able to curb the emotions a little bit and hold it for after the game. But yeah, it's going to be a special weekend at Bogle this weekend. And I really, really hope with our fans show up on Sunday to send our seniors out right. That early game time is going to be tough, but I hope they show up for them.
Hey, Coach, you kind of already maybe touched on this, talking about, you know, different ways to win in different circumstances, but you know, not homering in 2 of the 3 games at Florida and still winning. And obviously you never say, gosh, I hope we don't homer today so that we can win that way. But, you know, is it nice for them to be able to say, hey, we don't have to hit home runs to win? Because it seems like once you get to this time of year, then there's maybe fewer and fewer of those.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there's just so much information, and, you know, the ball doesn't travel that well in Florida. Yeah, I think that our averages have shown that too. You know, like I think last year we hit the long ball a lot, and we had we got Bogle Bombers, but our averages didn't necessarily throughout reflect how good of an offense we were. And this year, I think you're seeing that we can hit the long ball, but we can also hit consistently. And so, yeah, I think that we've had to rely on stringing hits more this weekend, but throughout the year, I think that's what's kind of nice about all our wins looking a little different, is we've relied on gap shots. We've relied on stringing hits. We've relied on putting pressure on defense. I think that was, you know, the first game in Florida is what they do. I think they made 3 or 4 errors, which is very uncharacteristic of them. But if you go back and look at those contacts, they hit it on the screws right at them, you know, and so then we have the long ball that we rely on too. But I think that's the nice thing, is they're really well-rounded and know how to win in different ways.
Going back to the home run for Marlene, did you say anything to her before she went up to the plate?
No, but the team, I mean, the team just has so much belief in each other. And I think you can see, you know, just how the team celebrated her in that moment, and her emotion and her reaction. And then I think she pretty much got tackled by everybody with like the biggest hugs. And that's, you know, that's what it's all about. That's why you play a team sport, is you just get to celebrate, you know, in those big moments. That's such a huge moment for Marlene, but it was a really, really big moment for our team. And you can see their investment in each other in how they celebrated her in that moment. I think that's what, as a coach, you love it. I mean, that's what makes me so proud of them. But it was really cool. But no, I didn't say anything. It was just like, hey, you got it. She's ready. You know, she grinds, she works, she's ready for that moment. So go get it, you know, and she did. So really exciting.
Couple of quick ones for you. One, are we not talking about Lenny Malkin's season enough when you compare RBIs to at-bats or home runs to at-bats?
Yeah, I don't think people are talking about Lenny Malkin's season enough. Absolutely. Look what she's doing. And yeah, I mean, she's having a really special year. and she's really turned it on of late. And I think she, you know, what weekend was it? Maybe 3 weekends ago. I mean, she went off and then catapulted herself into that, you know, 415. She's, you know, chasing Gibby for home run leaders, or I think she's in the 50s in RBIs. I mean, that's crazy. That's fine. We don't have to keep talking about her. She can just kind of slide under the radar. We're well aware of the year that Lenny Malkin is having, and she's earned it. So
yeah, I'd agree. Two, and final for me, was Mary as sharp as she has been the other night in maybe weeks, if not months, with both
didn't she look good?
And the location?
Yeah, she looked really, really good. She pitched really well in Florida too. And if her pitching coach wouldn't have called it change to Lindsay in that first inning, you know, it's a different game. But, you know, I think that Mary's I mean, she's had such a tremendous career. And sometimes you can get caught, you know, with pitchers, you can get caught in the highs and lows way too much. And she, you know, when she's had those low moments, she hasn't stayed there long. So I thought she looked really good this week, and her pen today was one of the best pens I've seen her have. So she's dialed. She's ready.
You got any other questions?
I got a follow-up if nobody else got a question. So I have to ask about the big deal that the softball team got. Not only what does that mean for your team, but, you know, women's athletics all across the nation, that you are the only or the first D1 program that gets all 27 athletes recognized.
Yeah, I mean, how unbelievable is that? So, you know, it's really exciting to announce it because they had reached out and told us about it like a month ago, and got to tell the team, and the team's eyes got big, like, holy crap. Cause we hadn't really heard of it. We hadn't heard about it on the women's side, definitely not in softball. And so I just think it's an incredible move to put women's sports on a platform in that spotlight. And I hope that they just continue to grow that. And I hope more jump on board. Because I guarantee you this roster deserves it. And I know there's a lot of female athletes and female rosters that deserve it, that are just huge. I mean, just incredible representatives of our university, our state, and they are exactly what you want student athletes to do. And they're incredible role models, and they're playing at as high a level as you can. And so they deserve it. And so I just think it's awesome. It's really, really cool.
And this senior class, you know, just what they have all meant to this program, where this program was when they got here, the growth. I mean, I think you could say that this weekend and doing it after the game, it's going to be a very, very special moment for you and this team to kind of be able to look at the wall and see that 2020 SEC and hopefully 2021.
Yeah, well, I mean, what they've done for this program is, I don't think there are enough words to say what they've done to this program. I mean, they committed to come play here and leave their mark on this program and build it. And they've done exactly that. They came here and believed in our vision and then brought it to fruition. I just think that they stayed the course. They knew exactly what this could be, and then they did it. I can't say enough. There literally aren't enough words to say what this class means to me, my family, and this program. Because as good as they are on the field, and as much as you guys have enjoyed them watching them compete, they are incredible humans, and that's really what it's all about.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Got any final questions, Coach? Okay. Thank you all for joining.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.